Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. I'm excited because we were just handed a gift. Gift of cheap prices. Yes, Bitcoin did come down. You could argue Bitcoin dumped, but that is fantastic because we're having this golden opportunity that has been presented to us to be able to buy the dip before the last 3 months of this year, which of course is the most bullish 3 months of this year and of this cycle. So that is why I decided to put $100,000 into these 5 altcoins. So let's discuss what happened today and why we should all cherish this moment. All right, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even TikTok now. Yes, back on TikTok, but not OnlyFans. And check out all the latest news, articles, and guides on CryptosRUs.com. A lot of good news, articles, and guides on how to use guides. So make sure you check it out and subscribe to the newsletter. All right, guys, welcome. I'm feeling good. I don't know how you guys are. I'm definitely noticing a trend, and this is a good trend. All right, and that's because I'm noticing that you guys are not panicking. Okay, even though Bitcoin fell down from where we were like 47, 48 yesterday to where this morning was like 42.5, and then now it's above 43. It's about 44, right? One thing I'm noticing is there's a lot less panic, a lot less worry. I think you guys know what's going on. I think you guys know exactly what's going on. These volatility days, these mini dumps, these corrections or whale manipulations, they mean nothing. They mean nothing. Nothing is stopping Bitcoin and altcoins these days. No matter what kind of FUD gets spread out, we know Bitcoin is going to recover. There is just too much going for Bitcoin at this point. There's too much buying, there's too much adoption, there's just too much potential to stop this train, this gravy train that will lead to financial freedom for so many, right? So actually, what you want to do is get excited about these dips, because we know when Bitcoin keeps going up, when altcoin goes up, right? It's hard, right? What do you do when things are going up? How do you DCA? How do you buy them when they keep going up and up? You don't want to FOMO, right? So what you do is have cash on the side and save it until we have a day like today where there's a significant drop, and then you're able to take advantage. Most of the wealth gained in crypto is buying the dips, buying low and holding and then selling high, not vice versa. And I've been telling you guys that it's been important to hold, it's important, I should say. It's important to hold about 20-25% in cash, and that's how you're able to take advantage of these dips. And I've said that too about profit taking. As we break 64,000 and beyond, it'll be the same strategy for me. But ultimately, you have to find a strategy for yourself to profit take, mostly because you want to have cash on the side so you're able to take advantage of dips. It's really that simple, right? So right now, Bitcoin is at 44,000, and we can speculate why it happened, right? The stock market is down. Dow is down 700 points. Although 700 points looks like it's horrific, but it's only 2% on the grand scheme of things. All right, so the Dow is down. There's Evergrande worries, right? Although I still think that they will be bailed out by the Chinese government. I don't think the Chinese government is going to let it turn into a Lehman Brothers event. I just don't see that happening. 800 billion or 300 billion to China is a drop in the bucket. So even though there's a lot of worries about it, it may go belly up, but China's going to do something about it. They're just not going to let it cause another global meltdown. I just don't see that. But there's worries about that. But ultimately, I think none of that is relevant. You know what's relevant? The relevancy is this, and I showed you guys last night. I think what we're seeing is basically being driven by options and futures. This is options and futures expiration week, right? I said this last night. I said, you know what? there's been times where Bitcoin follows this weird thing, and that is it follows this max pain price of expirations, and it just so happens to be at 44,000. And that's this Friday, and guess where we are? 44,000. So is this a coincidence? I don't think so. I don't think so. Normally in expirations week, the last week of a Friday, or last Friday of the month, I should say, so last week, heading into the last Friday, you see some volatility. Not always. Sometimes you do see non-movement weeks. Sometimes you do see some explosive upwards movement, but we have been seeing some downwards movement during these weeks. And today, this week, it looks like it's one of them. But it doesn't mean that, hey, it won't come right back up. Right now, it's down, but it's only Monday. It's only Monday. We still have a lot of days left in this week. And even if it stays flat, right, that means, well, this gift that was given to us will just last a little bit longer, which is fine, which is okay. In fact, that's what you want, right? Again, this is why it's important to have some cash on the side. I know that a lot of people don't plan on this. When people get into crypto, they want to make cash fast, right? They want to FOMO in, they want to ride the wave, and sometimes that works. Sometimes it works really well, especially in the next 3 months when things will really start going up and a lot of people will be FOMOing, and sometimes that works. But other times, if you're playing the long game, if you're buying crypto as an investment, then you got to prepare. Up and downs, there's going to be volatilities, and you want that. You're looking for that so that you can buy in cheap, right? That is why I decided to buy in today. I think today is a pretty good day. Normally, I do small DCAs every here and there, but I decided to go pretty big today because I think it's a fantastic opportunity. Not to say that we can't go a little bit lower. Can we go a little bit lower? Can we go back to 43? Yeah, possibly. But you know what? I think we have fallen enough, so I decided to take a big buy today. But if we go lower, we go lower, there's going to be more buying opportunities. However, one person that kind of predicted this, and it has been true so far for the last 2 months, is this. So I don't know why people miss this, but even PlanB have said this. Take a look. He predicted this back in June. Okay, so he said, according to Stock to Flow, August was going to be a pretty good month where Bitcoin was going to have a floor of 47,000. And that was true. Bitcoin hit a floor about 47,000. And then he predicted that September we would actually go down to 43,000 as a floor. And guess what? It has held true. Both times, we had one time earlier this month where Bitcoin fell down to about 42, came right back up to 43 and found the floor there. And today we're seeing that too. So even PlanB already predicted this, that according to Stock to Flow and other things going on, right, this will be a floor price for Bitcoin. So he predicted that Bitcoin probably come down a little bit, and others have said the same thing too. Others have looked at historical charts or historical moments and correlate other things. And some others have predicted that September could be a weaker month. Doesn't mean that it's going to be a super weak month, but that it was going to be a weaker month than August. So I don't think this is really a surprise to anyone. So if we do come down to 43, then okay, so what? But here's the thing. Look at October, November, and December. Right? October having a floor price 63, November floor price of 98, and December floor price 135,000. Let's see if it's true. I do think that's pretty darn accurate. I do think, I told you guys this many times, that by the end of the year, we're going to see 100,000 plus Bitcoin, and after that happens, we're going to have some true FOMO, and that's going to push Bitcoin much higher. I don't know where it's going to go. 135, 150, 200, 250. There's a lot of people that's predicting we could go above $200,000, but I think it's a certainty that we're above 100,000. And the Stock to Flow, let's see. This has been pretty darn accurate over the lifetime of Bitcoin, and PlanB has been pretty darn accurate looking at these floor prices recently. So let's see what happens. But I do know that we only have about 10 days left for this month, and after that, heading into October, the next 3 months, October, November, and December, is definitely 3 months you don't want to be out of the market. no matter what happens, if you're sitting on the sidelines, if you missed the entire run of 2021, it doesn't matter. The last 3 months of the 4-year cycle are the 3 months you don't want to miss. So the fact that we're getting this right now, right, a week before October hits, I think is the biggest gift that could have been given to us. If you're looking to invest, you're looking for a long haul, or you're preparing for the next 3 months, man, today and possibly this whole week is going to be a huge gift. So make sure you don't waste the opportunity. Make sure that if you have crypto that you've been looking at, or altcoins you've been looking at that you've been waiting on, and you aren't sure if you should buy it on the top, right? You aren't sure if you're supposed to go buy on its way up. Well, congratulations, you didn't. Now you have a good buying opportunity. Coin Collector says this time is different. Stocks falling. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's just fun. Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna prove to you stocks aren't falling apart. Dow Jones is at 33,800. Today, it looks like a terrific, down 700 points, 740. Even if that goes to 1,000, guess what? It's only down 2%, okay? Dow Jones is not down 5%, not down 7%, not down 10%. Stocks are not falling apart. Now, can it get worse? Yes. But today, on grand scheme of things, is nothing. Keep in mind, Dow was sitting at above 34,000, all right, near its highs. So, no, they aren't falling apart. But I will say that, there's a lot of people that's really worried about, this real estate developer, Evergrande, right? Even James on DCA, he was like very, very, very concerned about it. And there are legitimate concerns about it when you have a real estate developer with $300 billion worth of debt that they can't pay and they're about to default, right? It does seem like it's really, really, really bad, right? But you know what? Knowing the CCP, knowing China, knowing how they're not a dumb country, nor are they not aware of the situation, I think this will be resolved. They will fix things. So I guess we'll just have to see. I may be 100% wrong, but I just don't think that they're going to let this turn out to be a Lehman Brothers type of event, especially since we're just coming off the pandemic and things are weak already. Drew Mena says, you think Kathy Wood is right about deflation explosion? I don't know. I don't know if it's... right now, it does not seem like it. Inflation is happening and people are spending. Deflation happens when people are not spending. That's the thing, right? Right now, people are spending. That is why things are going up in price. So, I don't know. Kathy Wood is very smart. She may be right, but right now it doesn't seem like it because everything is going up in price. So people are still spending. But if we get in a situation where people are not spending and saving everything, then we could have deflation, which some argue is much worse than inflation. All right. So before I talk about the 5 altcoins, is there any good news? Well, something that's not good news, I guess, is longs being liquidated. Again, those of you guys that play leverage, please do not do so. Days like today will wreck you, so please do not do so for your own sake. Not only for your own sake, when this happens, it's a cascading effect and it has effect on the entire market. So just leverage is no good. No good, all right? What is good is despite the fact that Bitcoin has fallen, the exchange supply is still stagnant and liquid supply continues to go up. So what does that mean? That means retail investors are not panic selling. Retail investors are like, let me deposit Bitcoin to sell. No, that's not happening. Reserves for Bitcoin is still steady, still on a decline. A liquid supply is still going up, meaning there's still a lot of people that are buying and holding. So what's happening right now is probably from the big boys, from the whales that want to scare you out of your Bitcoins, scare you out of your life-changing wealth. You don't want to fall for that. Right, even President Bukele from El Salvador bought another 150 Bitcoins. So now they hold 700 Bitcoins. Pretty nice. It keeps going up and up and up. And we hear about major real estate companies like this one from New York, now accepting Bitcoin as payment. Again, this is something that we just talked about in DCA yesterday. It's quite interesting. I don't know how many of you guys plan on using your Bitcoin for a big purchase like a house in the future. I plan on doing so. I don't know about you guys. It just makes a whole lot of sense. It makes things easier. And again, this shows you the adoption of Bitcoin and crypto overall, right? So that's pretty positive. What's not positive is this. I saw this. Coinbase drops planned lend program after SEC warning. So SEC did scare off Coinbase because SEC did tell Coinbase, hey, if you come out this lend program, we're going to sue you. And Coinbase does not want that right now. They don't want to deal with it. So I guess our only hope right now against the fight against the SEC, right, is Ripple. So I guess we should all wish for Ripple to win their lawsuit because we don't want to see SEC overstep and just start attacking everyone, start suing everyone, right? So I'm rooting for Ripple. As weird as that may sound, I'm rooting for Ripple. I want them to win so that the SEC doesn't overstep, right? So we like to see SEC lose a big case like this. All right, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so now going to live coin watch. Overall market cap is slightly under $2 trillion. Under $2 trillion. So put things in perspective. Yes, we're at $2 trillion. Okay, not near our high. Our high was about 2.4 trillion. So slightly off of there, right? But that's okay. That's okay. The market cap is still very big. The overall market is still healthy, right? But we have a golden opportunity to be able to take advantage of the dip right now. Shelly, Origin Protocol hosts an NFT auction for SpaceX. That was big. Your end of price for OGN. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with them. That seems like it's pretty big. NFT auction for SpaceX. Interesting. My friend, who's a big Tesla Elon guy, he really wants to invest in SpaceX, which is private right now, but I don't like the terms of it. But anyways, I don't have an end of year prediction for Orion Protocol. Origin Protocol, I should say. All right. So with that said, if you look at the list, right, you guys know I've covered the top 100. I've went through this many times. And there's just a lot of fantastic projects, okay? But the 5 I want to concentrate today are the ones that I bought in. So I put in $100,000 into 5 altcoins, okay? And I don't have the exact breakup for you guys, but I spread it pretty evenly. Although my portfolio, I have large portions of Cosmos and Solana, bigger than some of these other guys. So I bought a little bit less of them and bought a little more of some of the other guys. Because this is a good opportunity. For example, Cardano, which I think is set to move. Cardano has been stagnant for quite some time. People are waiting for full-fledged DEX to come out, which should be around the corner. They're having their summit. That's coming up next week, right? So there's a lot of things coming for Cardano. And quite frankly, I just feel like I don't have enough of it. So I do think that Cardano's a good buy right now, right? You can look at the last 30 days. It's down about 12%. So that's more than Bitcoin. That's more than Ethereum. Ethereum actually has been holding very well in the last 30 days, although they haven't really moved that much in 30 days either. But Cardano, I think, is a good candidate, so I decided to pick up some Cardano. Now, next up is, of course, Solana. I do believe Solana has all the momentum in the world right now. And while they're weak right now, I'm going to take advantage. Although I have a large portion of Solana already, and they are up almost 90% still within the last 30 days. For those of you guys that are complaining about, oh, why is Solana not moving up? Just take a second, look at it. What else in the top 100 that went up 90% within the last 30 days? So it does need to take a breather. And I told you guys that. Wait for a breather moment, and there hasn't been many in the last month or two for Solana. But right now, being that it's under $150, it was like 130 something before. Had you caught it, great. But I do think right around now is a good buying opportunity. In fact, just yesterday morning or the day before, I think it was back up 170 already. Just to play those swings would have been awesome. But that's not what I do, and that's not what I advise. But I do think Solana is definitely a long-term hold at this point. I think they're probably going to keep continuing to go up and be right under Cardano in the future. So I picked up some Solana this morning. Also, I took advantage to pick up a good amount of Avalanche because this is a late comer. I did not hold any Avalanche before. In fact, I held very little, so I decided to pick up some good Avalanche because right now I think Avalanche is following the same footsteps as Solana. They have done really, really well. You could see the last 90 days, they have done 473% gains, but the last 30 days, they've slowed down only 32% gains. But I do think that they're doing all the right moves right now. I do think their ecosystem is growing with DeFi, with NFTs. They have some big players. They have their bridge, and they have many other things going for them, such as coin burning. So I think they're moving in the right direction. And relatively speaking, in terms of market cap, still small. Still small. Say Solana's 41 billion. They're only at 13 billion. So I decided to pick up a good amount of Avalanche today. Now, moving on, there's two others. Cosmos, which you guys know I really love and support, up about 61% last 30 days, not bad, but the last week and today, obviously, they came down a little bit, but they were really, really, really hot. They were just at their high of $44, so decided to pick up a little bit more. And Cosmos, you guys know, one of the biggest ecosystems out there. So many use SDK, Cosmos SDK, so there you go. And inner blockchain communication is enabled. It's just a matter of time before all the chains turn it up and start communicating with each other. And then lastly, I decided to pick up some Vechain, right? I haven't picked up any Vechain for quite some time. I haven't really talked about it, but they're still developing. They're still continuing. And you know what? They're weak. So right now, I think it's a good buy opportunity under 10 cents. They're down 28% for the last 30 days. 15% the last 7 days. I'm quite surprised. I still think Vechain is going to get their turn, right? They're going to get more attention, and they're going to start trending up. But I do think that they've been weak for quite some time. So they should be turning up. And plus, I've said this before, there's a lot of promising NFT projects that turned up, and Vechain continues to have all the major partnerships in China, and they're building upon that. So it's definitely a project you don't want to sleep on. So those are the 5 that I picked up, but I could see from the comments, oh, George, why didn't you pick up this? Oh, why didn't you pick up this? Why didn't I pick up this? Okay, because you don't know my portfolio. A lot of them I do have a ton of, and a lot of them I just feel like, well, it's just not the right opportunity, right? Doesn't mean that you have to follow me. In fact, I'm not creating this video for you to follow me, but I just think that these 5 are great, but there's so many others that are great too. Even today, right, with Bitcoin and Ethereum down 8%, hey, that's a pretty good dip. Same thing with Polkadot, which I didn't talk about. That's a pretty good buy at negative 14%, right? And then you have something like Luna that's down 17%, really a big sell-off. Uniswap, I mean, these are all fantastic projects. Chainlink, 13%. Algorand, 15%, right? Matic down 10, 11%. Theta, Tezos, PancakeSwap. The list goes on and on and on. Okay? When you have a double-digit day or close to a double-digit, dip day, pretty good for pickup, right? So, overall, to sum up, yeah, I think we're giving a pretty good gift. Okay, some of you guys may not view it that way. You're like, George, what are you talking about? I just lost X amount in my portfolio. Keep in mind, if you don't sell, it's unrealized loss, which means it's not real loss, which means it still has a chance to come up unless you're playing leverage and then you got liquidated. Okay, so realize that, yeah, you may have some unrealized loss, but that's why you want to have some cash on the side, right? So you could DCA, you could dollar cost average, right? You may still be in the green on some of these. Some of these, maybe you're in the red. But when things go down, that's how you can take advantage. You buy a little more, you buy the dips, you dollar cost average, bring your average cost down. And when things recover back, you're already in the green again. That is what you're supposed to do. Buy low and sell high, right? But mostly buy low, hold low, and then wait. So hopefully you guys are in a situation to do so. If you're not, that's okay. just continue to hodl, right? You don't have to DCA every time we get a dip, every time we get volatility. No, you don't have to. You can follow a schedule, like every paycheck, every 2 weeks, every month. You can follow a schedule too, or you do nothing and you continue to just hodl. It's that simple, right? And someone said 1.2 billion liquidated in 24 hours. Yes, that's total. In terms of just Bitcoin, I think it's about 300 million, 260 for just Bitcoin. Maybe this is a little bit off, but not nearly as much as this event, which happened, earlier this month, right? But that's why you don't play. That's why you don't play with leverage. Just don't play with it. If you don't play with it, you don't have to worry about being liquidated. You just continue to hodl, right? All right, that's it. Let's do some Q&A. All right, scrolling up, I still see new people joining as a member of this channel. Thank you. I appreciate your support. There's a big join button in case you guys didn't see it. Even Cisco says, even if you don't like XRP, throw $100 into it. They're becoming a wild card. If they win the case, maybe 2 to 3x, then you can sell and get 8 up. I think that's true. I've said this before. It's irresponsible not to hold some XRP. I've said that. I'll stay by it. Because you're right. If they win the SEC lawsuit, but I don't think that's coming anytime soon. But if they win, it's going to drive them up in a big way. But also, I'm rooting for them, Ripple, to win because I don't want the SEC to get too powerful, right? But I think that logic is correct. I bought a lot of BTC today. It's just too cheap. 100K soon. That is right, Marshawn. Vindiz, whatever. Why not pick up Terra? I answered that question. Dogecoin, just like XRP, I think it's irresponsible not to have some Doge, but Dogecoin and meme coins, they're just really weak right now because all the money is going to network protocols, as they should, because network protocols actually have a lot more potential and usage. However, with that said, the reason why I think it's irresponsible not to hold some Doge is because when FOMO hits, when the market starts turning up, and retail investors start FOMOing in, guess where to go FOMO into first? Doge. The Robinhood guys. When they come back, they're all going to be buying Doge and probably Shiba at that point, right? So that's why I do think holding some may be beneficial. Fed just liquidated all of its bonds. I wonder what that means to overall economy and crypto. That's interesting. I don't believe that's true. That's hundreds of billions of dollars worth of bonds right there. So I don't know, Joseph. I'm going to have to look into that, but that doesn't seem right. What's your opinion on Cody? I think Cody is fine as a payment app, and they work with Cardano. So I think they could do well in the future. Yes. Cosmos is my favorite. I like Cosmos. I do like Cosmos. Phantom is actually... They've sold off way more than they should. I don't know why they sold off this much. I mean, I kind of do because they kind of ran up really quickly. But Phantom did sell off way more than I expected recently. And you know what? That could mean it's a good buy. I think Phantom does have a good future. There's a lot of DeFi projects running on top of Phantom already. And they have tokenization. And they have NFTs too. So, yes. Jay Simmons, welcome. Silas just asked about XRP. I think I just answered that. If you're thinking about getting some XRP, okay, maybe just limit it to a little bit because there's a lot of other projects that I think is going to run a lot more and has more potential. Although XRP Army guys will not agree to that. Economy is still up after a flash crash. Economy has been coming up. There's a lot of enthusiasm with them moving to Ethereum, and I think that's going to be a big thing. I mean, for whatever reason, they chose to go with Gold Chain, which is basically a dead chain. But once they move to Immutable X with basically no fees, very fast, it's a layer 2 for Ethereum. Once they move that, then I think they're going to start really running. John says, today made me super bullish. Good. All right, still scrolling down. Just starting to catch up with recent comments. Okay, now I just skipped it. Now I just skipped it again. Popak, I appreciate it. Jupy, welcome. What do you think about Arweave? I like Arweave. As a decentralized storage play, I think it's the best. But overall, as decentralized storage plays, I'm not that into them. In terms of my portfolio allocation, pretty small compared to network protocols. I still like network protocols better than any other play right now. Saeed, thank you. Matt says, Harmony with Aave chain links. Yes. Cross-chain NFT opens the doors for Axie. Thoughts is good. Okay, you already have it. You've done the homework. You don't need to ask me my thoughts. But I will say I like Harmony. I've supported them for a while. EVM compatible chain based in the US, actually based in Silicon Valley. And I think they have a lot of things going. It's all about execution and marketing. And they're doing both very well. So yeah, I do like them in the future. Julian says, as a new investor in general, would you suggest crypto over stocks, ETFs, index funds? You know what? Here's the thing. When you're young, like you're 21, you're able to take more risks, okay? And I think this goes against the grain of normal, traditional upbringings. Most parents tell their kids, hey, you want to go to college, get a good job, right? And settle in. But you know what? When you're young, that's when you should take the most risk. Because even if you lose it all, you don't lose much. You don't have kids to worry about. You don't have a mortgage to worry about. You don't have car payments. Well, not expensive car payments, right? So you have the ability to risk more. But that doesn't mean you should be reckless. Doesn't mean you should be irresponsible. However, for me, if I was 21 again, I would be all in 100% in crypto. Okay? I think stocks, ETFs, index funds, they're safer plays. If you're in a position you want to diversify, you want safer plays that doesn't have as much volatility, then they're great. But if you're looking for maximum gains, of course it's crypto. But again, even in crypto, it doesn't mean that you just like ape into Doge or Shi because you think that's going to just make you a millionaire overnight. No, when it comes to crypto, it still involves patience, still involves research, still involves patience again. I said that. But I think when you're younger, you could take more risks. That's my opinion. Chris, welcome. Sneaky says, I quit my job. Now I have to beg for it back. Well, I don't know if you're kidding, but all I have to say is it made me laugh. I missed some things here. James, appreciate that. Does Elron have a good future? I do. I think so. I'm not that familiar with Elron. Covered them early on. They're EVM compatible chain that also has sharding very fast. Also has a good amount of ecosystem. But I think there's a few things coming. I think they have a new wallet upgrade or something like that. Not that familiar with them. I need to get more familiar. Seller is a layer 2 for Ethereum. They came up with a bridge that bridges all ERC20 and EVM compatible chains together, right? Seems to have given them some momentum, and they actually have been doing pretty well. Because in terms of layer 2s, Matic, Polygon, which used to be called Matic, and Seller, they came out basically back to back. They were both out of Binance. And Seller has been really, really struggling over the years when Polygon has not. Polygon has become a big player, right? So maybe Seller comes up. Maybe it does. What is Helium except mining? Everyone always speaks about mining on it. Yeah, I don't think anyone actually uses Helium all that much. People care about the mining aspect so that you can earn good amount of income. So I don't really hear anyone really talking about, oh, I'm on the Helium network and my Wi-Fi or IoT devices work. I don't really hear that. I hear most people in crypto just say, hey, I'm providing I'm contributing to the mesh network, and I'm getting rewarded for it. But it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to get the miners. All right, last few questions. Did I miss anything? Double patience. Yes, Cisco. You got it right. Double patience. I'm taking risks, but I'm not that young. Well, risk tolerance, right? Risk tolerance. You gotta be. Everyone needs to have it. Needs to have a strategy. If you're into NFTs, check out VV app, official Marvel. Yeah, of course I know that. Yeah, you could see that Yakomi on the bottom left-hand side of my screen. They are a channel partner. I'm definitely familiar with what they're doing. In fact, they just launched comic books and a reader. So with the VV app, you can actually read full comic books as an NFT. It's pretty crazy. All right, last few questions. What is the best DEX far from the eyes of the IRS? Oh, I don't know. Obviously, the big ones are probably being looked at, you know, like a smaller project like Energy. They have Energy Swap, which is feeless, basically almost feeless, and they have a ton of tokens, and they have a really robust security implementation across their chain, and they have a bridge too. So you could check them out, Energy Swap, and there's several others, right? But the bigger ones are probably being looked at by the SEC, but who knows? Should I buy? No, you should not. John, I don't know if you're trolling or not, but no. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. So to sum up, to wrap up, hey, Bitcoin entire market came down. That's okay. You should be excited about it because now you're able to buy cheap. You can buy Bitcoin and crypto cheap. That's what you want. You want to buy low, not buy high, right? So we're presented this gift. We're presented this opportunity. I didn't waste it, and hopefully you guys don't either. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 8:30 tonight. Make sure you tune in. We'll see what happens during the day, but make sure you tune in. Dave says, overinvested in altcoins. Would you personally take losses now? No, I would not. I would not.